Today we are going to talk about API like Twitter API, Feather API, etc. etc. But before that, we should know about the link or the how to use these API. There are many forms of APIs. Some of the API providing websites allow you to make number of requests without any limitation. But some of the API providing websites limits you to make requests, like you can make only 100 requests or 1000 requests per day. And these kind of API providing websites charge you to extend the limits. They provide you an app key and app ID to track the number of requests made by you. Now we are going to understand it practically and look at the websites which provide APIs. Let's search the AdMem. AdMem is a recipe providing API. Okay. Generally, it provides the recipe details. Okay, before that, we have to sign in. If you have an account, it will just log in, and if you don't have, then sign up and sign in. Now we have to go to the dashboard and that's applications to check our app ID and app key. So yes, it is here. Then copy these API and ID and API keys so that we can use it in our URL. I'm going to copy it in the micro notepad. It will be easier for us to just copy it from the notepad and modify our URL. Now we will see it. So URL will be found in the documentation of the any API providing website. So let us see. So where is it? Where it is? Yeah, it is here. Just copy this API URL and we will modify it later on. So open it, and here is your app ID. So what you have to do is just copy the app ID like that 6694 and so on, and copy that and paste it in the place of your app ID. And the same thing have to be done with the your app key. So copy the your app key, your key, and just copy that, paste it on the your app ID, and delete this extra query as we are not going to use this extra fetch data. Okay, now we will use the API URL which we modified earlier to fetch the data, so that we will make an index.html file in our any folder you want. And now we are going to hack NASA. So NASA, be on alert, otherwise you are going to lose your data. So here is a simple HTML page. Should add a background music, BGM. Just kidding. So we are going to create a button which will trigger a function which you can name it anything. But in my case, I will name it. What should I name it? A handle recipe. Yeah, handle recipe. And this handle recipe is our detective that will fetch the resource or say data from the API. So we will make now a function which is named as handle recipe, and we will use handle recipe. Inside the handle recipe, we will use the JavaScript function named as fetch, and this fetch is generally used for the API to fetch the data from the API. And then let's just copy that URL which we modified earlier and paste it inside the fetch in a notation, and just make a promise. Then we will take the response which is came from the fetched API and pass it into the JSON format so that we can use in our website, and then we will console the data which is fetched and passed. And look at the data now. Copy path and open Google Chrome. Okay, just paste it and get the response. Just click that button. Before that, just open console, developers tool, and click that button. Now the response will yes, and here you can see that many data is fetched from the API. Here's the hits, and you can see the hits is an array, it contains array, so we have to iterate over it to fetch the details inside the hits. And but before that, we will only fetch the hits. So we have data.hits, and now we will see the only array. Yeah, we have found only array, and look at this, we have array. Now what we have to do is we have to iterate over every item. Now we will console every item inside hits, and it's very easy. First open the curly brackets so that the adequate amount of space will be there to type our code clearly. And now we will use the JavaScript iterator method, that is .map, and .map will iterate every item inside the hits, and we have passed the item parameter, which will be first. But before that, we should know what we want from the hits. Here is label, which show the name of the recipe, that is chicken, sorry. And now item.recipe.label, so that the recipe name will be shown inside on the console. So let's save and just click button. Now response. Okay, we have the name of every recipe here, chicken blah blah blah. And now our target is to display all the recipe names which we have shown on the console on the HTML page. So what we will do, we will create an unordered list, and we will pass an ID here, lol. Just what now next we have to do is we will create a UL document.getElementById, that is lol, that is ID. And now we will create an element li, that is list, and we will also create an element span, and then we will pass the data, that is the name of the recipe, inside the span. And how we will do it, just check it, span.innerHTML, and inside these brackets item.recipe.label, and we will append this span inside the li, and we will append the li to the UL. And now just save it and just check it how it works. Save it and click the button. And now the response will be shown on the HTML page. Okay, that's good. That's very good. And now we will try to fetch other things like image, galleries and all, but before that we will check what's the access name of there. So console the data, and just wait a second, save button, and the response is here inside the recipe here. Now we'll fetch the image. What the hell, yeah, here image, and it is very easy, just like we appended the span. Now what we do, we will create an element inside this and let image is equal to create element img, that is image, and we will assign the source of the image to the image.source. Let's see how it works. Yeah, and image, oh sorry, what we have to do, item.recipe.image, and then append it to the li image. Now our image should be shown on the HTML page. Save and click here, and boom, the image is shown on the web page. And just like that, you can fetch any other thing inside the hits like calories and all, and just like this you can fetch the data from the API. So the data can be anything inside the recipe or other recipes, and the front end is all up to you, and you have to manage, as I'm just performing the basics how to fetch the API. And thank you.